Hey guys, welcome back to Jacq of All Trades. This is episode 24, and today we are talking about something that has probably annoyed you at least once if you've ever tried to create content, build a business, or exist on the internet with more than one interest. You've probably heard this phrase before: the riches are in the niches. Every business coach, social media strategist, and marketing guru seems to chant it like it's gospel. Pick one thing, focus, specialize, don't confuse your audience. Sounds great in theory, but if you're multi-passionate or also known as multi-potentialite, which by the way was the topic of previous episode, if you haven't listened to it, please feel free to do so, my friend. Anyway, picking just one thing for someone who has diverse interests feels like cutting off half your brain. One day you're writing about productivity, the next day you're making a gaming video, and then suddenly you're posting about your balcony garden, which somehow now looks like a jungle. You've tried niching down, you really did, but every attempt feels like squeezing yourself into a tiny box that looks good from the outside and feels absolutely suffocating on the inside. It's so uncomfortable. It's so not you. This was how I felt. For years, I tried to box myself into a niche the way the industry told me to. I twisted myself into content strategies that looked great on paper but quietly drained the life out of me. Until one day, I had this thought: what if the problem isn't me? What if the problem is the box? And that was the moment I stopped obsessing over fitting in and started building a personal brand that actually reflects me. I once worked in a company where the CEO had a favorite saying: fit in or get out. Subtle, right? His point was simple: if you don't fit the company culture, you don't belong there. Brutal, but honestly, very corporate. But here's the thing: as creators, this is our playground. So let me flip that advice into a question for you. Do you want to just fit in, or do you want to stand out? Yes, niches can work, sure, but for multi-passionate creators, your strength isn't in narrowing yourself down. Your strength is in showing up as the full, messy, curious, occasionally chaotic human that you are. Ironically, that's your niche. Let me share with you why I think boxing yourself in doesn't work. Trying to force yourself into one niche when your brain is wired for many passions feels like self-sabotage. Here's what usually happens: you lose motivation because you're cutting off the parts of you that feel alive. You burn out faster because the strategy doesn't match your personality. And worst of all, you attract the wrong audience. People who only want one version of you. And that's why so many multi-passionate creators stall before they even take off. Not because you lack discipline or lazy, but because you're trying to play a game that was never designed for you in the first place. Being multi-passionate is actually a strength. I've discussed this in the previous episode. Please feel free to listen to it. I'll put the link in the show notes. But allow me to sum it up for you. People who are multi-passionate is incredible at connecting dots across different fields. They are fast learners and adaptable. They are career and project chameleons. And they are big picture thinkers where they see patterns others miss and are able to translate complex ideas into something people actually understand. Add to that the mindset of an autodidact, and suddenly you've got a toolkit many specialists don't. So no, you're not too scattered. You're versatile and resilient. And in a world where platforms and industries change overnight, that's gold. So, how do you actually brand yourself without feeling like you're losing your mind? Here are a few things that worked for me. First, anchor around you. Instead of centering your brand on one niche, center it on your personality and values. People don't just follow topics, they follow voices. One of my old personal interests went something like this: it's me, unfiltered, slightly caffeinated, and always figuring things out. Expect thoughts, ramble, cafe reviews, travel attempts, and behind the scenes solopreneur chaos. And that still holds in a way, although I have spread it out on different platforms. People stick around because they connect with how you think, not because you fit neatly into a box. Second, use content buckets. Think of these as playground zones. Instead of one rigid niche, you have a few flexible buckets. In my case, it's creativity and learning, gaming and play, solopreneur life, and lifestyle experiments. This way, you have structure without suffocating your curiosity. Third, tell stories that tie it together. Your interests aren't random if you tell stories around them. What gaming taught me about problem solving, what crafting taught me about focus. That's how my world becomes cohesive. Next, be transparent. Don't hide the fact that you are multi passionate. Say it up front. This space includes multiple interests, and that's part of the deal. The right people will stay. Finally, consistency over conformity. You don't have to post the same thing every time. You just have to show up consistently as yourself. That's what builds trust. I know what you're thinking. What if people don't get me? What if they leave because I'm all over the place? But isn't that just growth? You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. Why should your content be frozen in time? Think about friendships you've outgrown not because of drama, but because life shifted. Audiences are the same. Even with the perfect niche, people will leave. Okay, I'm going to steal this saying I really love from a good friend of mine who has repeated this many times to me. People who mind don't matter. People who matter don't mind. When people follow you, your voice, your curiosity, your way of seeing the world, they grow with you. And that's sustainable. Before we wrap up, a quick invite to you, my friend. If you want to hang out beyond this podcast, you can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/JackTidus. I stream games weekly, but it's never just about the games. I'm always down to chat, ramble, answer questions, or dive deeper into the stuff I talk about here on the podcast, whether that's been multi-passionate, content creation, or whatever random thought pops into my head midstream. So if you feel like asking questions, sharing your own I don't fit in a box either stories, or just lurking quietly while I game and talk too much, you're more than welcome. Come say hi or don't. Lurking is totally valid. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. I'll see you in the next one.